Okay, back. Had to clean the nose. Started to run a bit after that sneeze. Yeah, so um where was I? So yeah, fruits were my meals. Fruits, raw fruits, just the fruits, nothing cooked, and raw veggies. Those became the staple of my meals, staple of my diet. And I eat a lot of salads, or because that's when I discovered I don't like salads. I don't like lettuce. I like making salads with lettuce. I'm not a fan of it, but I do love veggies. I loved steamed veggies. Still love my steamed veggies. So that's what I did a lot of. Again, very very light on the spices. The most spices that I would use would be again turmeric. I fell in love with turmeric after I found out what it did for me. So I did a lot of turmeric with the black pepper, sometimes with hot like cayenne pepper or pepper flakes. With I started to reintroduce the salt again. So I had that, thank God. Made a big difference. And so that was my seasoning. So if I didn't have the turmeric in there, it would just be plain salt, a bit of salt, and a bit of black pepper. That's it. Those are my spices. So that's how I was eating a lot. That's how I was eating a lot, and with the juicing of the veggies, and the thing that was making the juicing of the veggies more palatable was the cucumbers, the carrots, the beets. These are things that I really, really love. Thank heavens. So cucumbers, carrots, beets changes the flavor. The apples. I wasn't just using green apples anymore. I started to use the Fuji apples, organic Fuji apples, which are just huge. The price is so very different. It was quite expensive even back then, and they were very massively big. They're also in better shape because nowadays, when you go to buy Fuji apples, they look like they've been beaten and battered. So I don't buy Fuji apples anymore. So yeah, so that's how I went in by 6 months. By the 6 month mark of 2015, I had lost 60 pounds. So I was at 200, losing 60 pounds. I went down to 140. Actually, when I clocked in, I was at 130. I was at 130. I looked like a stick. It was reminiscent of before I started having children, or even after my first child, because I seemed like I gotten skinnier after I had my first child. It was reminiscent of them, and I really felt as like a totally different person. I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. I didn't recognize my body. I didn't recognize my face. Everything had changed, and I felt very uncomfortable in my own skin. I was happy that I had lost the weight, but I didn't know who that woman was in the mirror. And within 3 months, I started to eat my sugars and my breads again. And it was a slow but gradual going back to what started to happen again to my body. And it took place actually, we're in 2022 now. It started taking place in 2021. So that's 6 years after I started to get the skin issues again. And I realized I've been here before, but this time I am going to control how this goes. This time, I'm not going to do it extreme. I'm going to do this gradual, and I'm going to watch my body. This time, I have more understanding, I have more knowledge, and I am going to eat properly. I'm not desperate to lose weight. No, what I am is determined and on a mission to eat healthy, live healthy, and just do things in a much more balanced manner because I want this weight loss and this health journey to be sustainable. I want it to be forever. I want it to continue. I don't want it to just be for a short stint and when everything looks good, I drop it and I pick back up old habits. No, I want to establish these new habits and I want them to remain. So I'm not in a rush. Definitely not in a rush. I'm taking my time. I'm doing it quickly. If you hear, listen, okay, as you listen to me, you should be able to hear it sounds like my nose is stuffed up, like I'm clogged up. That's another sign for me. That's another sign for me that my body needs to be detoxed. It needs to be flushed. That blocked up nose, something is affecting my sinuses. I'm not really a dairy person. I love cheese. I could do without milk. I really can. I don't need milk at all in my diet because um, for the coffees that I do drink, oat milk is just fine for me. Um, and I can make my own oat milk or purchase it either way. So I don't drink cow milk. I had switched to goat milk a while back, about 3, 4 years ago. I switched to goat milk. I do prefer it. I prefer the full fat, as they would say, 3% up here in Canada, goat milk. It doesn't taste bad or anything like that to me. I find that my body tolerates it much better than the cow's milk because after drinking goat's milk, I do not have the immediate response that I do with cow's milk. So I find that goat milk works better for me. However, I do find also, I've realized that after a bit of time, especially if I really get into the whole using the milk thing, because when I make porridge, I would put milk in porridge. Um, when I used to eat cereals, Weetabix was like my absolute favorite. I would use milk with my Weetabix, and I noticed that that brought a reaction, so I just backed off of the goat milk completely. So the only form of dairy that I do eat every once in a while, and I mean I don't just pick up cheese and eat it. I don't love it that much anymore. It's when I'm making lasagna. So when I make lasagna for the family, I love lasagna. When I make it anyhow, I love lasagna. I would take a slice, and that's how I would get the dairy in my system. I also love yogurt. So that's another form that I would get the dairy in my system. But I've already brought this way of buying groceries into my family where they know that if this week, because I do groceries every week, if this week I buy yogurt and cheeses, don't look for it next week. Oh, no, that's not happening. Because my family, we love food. We love to eat. And when it's something that we love, if it's there, we're gonna keep on eating it. So, and that's something that I'm, in the process of changing, letting my family know we don't live to eat, we eat to live. There's a big difference. And so when you eat according to what's necessary, you're not just gonna avail yourself to everything that's there. You're gonna know how to say, nah, no, thank you. No, thank you. I've got 2 children. My first boy and my first girl, they both eat like that. They both eat like that. To the point where my first girl is vegetarian. She does not like starch whatsoever, hates starches, and loves vegetables, loves fruits. Here's the part of the vegetarian that doesn't really click. Maybe I should call her a pescatarian. Yeah, pescatarian. She loves meats and vegetables. That's it. She hates starches. She does not like starches, and they don't sit well with her. So I think it's because her body has just gotten so used to not having starches at all. The only form of starches that she will ingest are Asian starches, and those are primarily not, it's not even made from semolina or wheat flour. It's made from like rice. It's like rice noodles, pea noodles, that kind of starch, vegetable starches. Noodles made from vegetable starches. So that's how she eats. While my firstborn son, he's just been a picky eater from the moment that he was born. He's just been picky. After I finished breastfeeding him. He's just not one that, even though he loves it, he's not going to eat it every time. He's going to be like, no, thank you. No, it's okay. And I'm like, didn't you eat today? And he's like, yeah, I had something. And when he tells me, what did you eat? And he tells me, I'm like, aren't you hungry? He's like, no, not really. No, I'm not. And he'll drink whether it's some juice or some water, and he's good. So, and then of course, is when he entered teenage stage. When he's hungry, like just step back and let him have the kitchen. Okay, that's what it was like. So I have 2 children that already understand the meaning of you don't have to eat it just because it's there. The rest of us need that kind of discipline. So it's my determination. Can you hear my nose whistling? Y'all hear that? Toxins in the body. Anyhow, that's going to be getting rid of. And y'all can, if you're interested, You can follow me on my journey. You can come with me. You can even start with me if you're interested, if it so, motivates you. I hope it does, because the best thing that we can do for our bodies is keep it healthy. Love it in such a way and nurture it in such a way that it is able to stick around for a real long time. And it doesn't just stick around, but it stays healthy, strong, vibrant, and just ready for a new day every day. So come with me, join me, if you please, on this journey to making our vessels the best that they could ever be. God bless.